Sweet like honey.
And as real as it gets, I'm Ebony.
I'm Mariah.
And our special guest is Mr. Taylor.
Hi, everyone.
He's one of our PE teachers and one of our sports coaches.
Two. Well,
Many coaches. It's all right. Many sports. I coach many sports. It's all right.
And I'm very excited for this episode because I love sports.
I'm excited for this episode because I also like sports and sports are fun. So
I'm excited to be here too. Apparently, I'm one of the first staff members, so I'm very excited, and hopefully, I don't mess up too bad.
The topic for this episode is sports with disabilities. So our first question is, what is something that you learned throughout your years of teaching PE or just being a coach?
Oh, that's a great question. I think one of the big things I've learned is that the outcome's more important than the actual thing. So say I'm teaching baseball. I'll say it's baseball, but if I'm working with a student who might be in a wheelchair, limited mobility, maybe nonverbal, the objective is not playing a game of baseball. It's about them being able to reach out and grab that bat, or being able to hold the bat, or even get excited while running around the bases while being pushed. So the outcome and the goal is different than saying baseball. We're doing more functional stuff. And I think I've had to back myself up a little bit, after my first couple of years of teaching, like, all right, what's the point of this? I'm trying to get them to do something, and I'm not trying to get them to do the sport necessarily.
What do you find most rewarding about being a PE teacher?
I just love moving. You guys know I'm crazy. I like to get up and move and go. And I really enjoy just working with you, all you students, and especially, with the blind and visually impaired community. Just doing disability sports is great. I just really enjoy it, and can't see myself teaching English, so.
Not English.
But I really enjoy working with all the students and all the kids.
What have inspired you to become a teacher?
Ooh, you guys got some good questions. I like it. So honest to goodness, originally I thought I was going to go into like game design or something years ago.
Design?
Yeah, video game design, because that was a big thing when I was growing up, was video games and stuff. And I thought, oh, that'd be really cool. And so I wasn't sure. And then by, my senior year in high school, I'm like, you know what? I want to kind of go more fitness route. So I went into like thinking I'll do a corporate fitness job or something. Anyway, long story short, I was in college my first year, and I finally was like, you know what? I got to work with some kids, and I got some exposure. I'm like, you know what? Teaching would be really cool. And that's kind of how it started. Just kind of like I fell into it, if that makes sense to everyone.
Yeah.
What is your favorite sport to teach in PE class, and why?
Ooh. Well, to teach in PE, that's tough. I'd say my favorite sport to teach in PE, there's, it's hard to pinpoint, because I said I love all different sports. I really oh boy, you guys really throwing me for a loop there. I guess I really do enjoy teaching any type of, like, it's called invasion games, anything that has to do with a defense and offense, so football, soccer, any of that stuff, anything that you have to attack each other. I love that stuff,
You just want us to attack to
Well, like an offensive player going towards a defensive player, stuff like that.
That makes sense.
My favorite sport is goalball.
Goalball, yeah, I figured. I know it's a big favorite one. I mean, coaching, I have to say, I love coaching soccer, but wrestling's always been a passion of mine. I wrestled in college, so that kind of like turned my love for wrestling. So I really enjoy wrestling coaching wise. Of course, I love soccer. Don't get me wrong. I know you guys, I'm the soccer coach, but I think wrestling is one of my favorite things to coach.
Well, we're saying that, what is your favorite sport outside of your job to play?
I would love to get back into football. I played football in high school.
Played football?
I did. I was an all-purpose player. I did offensive, defensive line. I was a long snapper, a punter. I did everything. Um, but I really enjoy football. Even I'm wearing my Eagles shirt today. Football's always been a passion of mine, but I love football. Yeah.
What were some challenges that you faced when you were younger, playing sports?
So some challenges I faced. So I'm very technical in my approach when I do a sport, somewhat to a fault. So I focus more on the technicality of the moves or and I get stuck. I like a certain thing. Like I was offensive tackle for a couple years, and then they wanted me to move to center and be the snapper for center my senior year, and I was so nervous because I only knew how to play right tackle. So I was very technical on that. So that kind of was a big problem of mine. I wasn't flexible in that way. So I'm very technical. Like sometimes I don't focus on the whole thing. I focus on, all right, did I do that move correctly, and not realize, all right, I have to keep going and keep wrestling or whatever. That makes sense to everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
With disabled students, so like me and Mariah, what do you think is good for them to build confidence and teamwork skills with playing blind sport?
How to build confidence for people with disabilities. That's it's all comes from within. So I mean, it just depends. You got to find what motivates you, and you have to kind of get past your disability. I mean, a lot of kids are scared because, oh, I'm in a wheelchair, or I have very low vision. They're scared to get out there, but once they get out there and try it, then it's like, oh wow, I'm sure you guys have stories where you were scared to play goalball at first, but now can't get you two off the goalball court,
Yeah.
So getting past the fear of failing and your disability and getting out there and just doing it and just trying, I think you'll be successful.
My first time playing soccer, I was scared.
Yes.
But now I'm like, just go at where the people is.
That's right. Find that ball, go for it. That's right. All right.
What differences have you noticed between teaching blind students and visually impaired, like blind students and like a visual, like the ones I can see?
So kids who don't have vision problems. So I like teaching here because it seems like most of the kids at this school are very grateful for what I do, or the teachers here. Granted, yes, I have attitude sometimes from kids, and that's normal, but I think it's a lot less it's a lot less here than it is at a public school. Because I did do student teaching at a public school. I've done some observations at a public school, and I like that you guys are like, we're here to help you guys and try to get you guys to learn. And I said sometimes I get an attitude, but you want to learn, you want to try, and sometimes the kids at public school who have vision sometimes don't realize like what they have. They're lucky that they have some vision, and they take it for granted.
What teaching strategies would you give to other people if they want to become a coach?
Some strategies in teaching for people who want to coach people with disabilities.
Yeah.
Be flexible. You're definitely going to need flexibility because everybody has a different disability. I mean, even here at the School for the Blind, not everyone has the same visual impairment, and everyone learns differently. Said some kids are in wheelchairs, and you got to adapt to that. So just being able to adapt your instruction and kind of look outside the box of like how this is going to work. I'm trying to think here. I think that's the best advice is being able to adapt your instruction to fit the needs of whoever you have on your field, and kind of think outside the box of how this is gonna work.
How do you make PE and sports like I wouldn't say entertaining, but like inclusive
Inclusive.
inclusive for students with disabilities?
how do I do that? A lot of planning. Um, I try to work with, Mr. Chris, who's been doing it for a while. Uh, you know, Miss Sierra, we all kind of get together and talk. I try to just think, I said outside the box, like, all right, what's the objective here? I'm trying to get them to throw the ball. What fun games can we do that can make them throw the ball? If I'm doing an elementary class or something.
What sport would you want to introduce to our school if you could make a new sport?
Ooh. um, a new sport. Probably football. I'll go back to my football again. I know all my soccer people are like, oh no, but I'd say football. Try to do some football and learn some different how to do football. Blind visually impaired would be really cool to learn.
Okay.
What role does teamwork play in PE and sports for blind and dis
Disability. It's okay. I got you. So teamwork's important. I mean, because he said you guys are all different, and I see it a lot here. You know, have an athlete on the soccer team, and they use a what we call a gait trainer. She's in a wheelchair, and then she gets in her gait trainer, and a lot of you guys will come by and help them out, which is really awesome. You pick each other up, and you guys don't look at each other like you have a disability, which is really awesome here. And that's what teamwork comes in. If you're able to work with each other regardless of how people look, act, or their opinions, you get past that, you're going to be more successful as a team and as a group.
If you could invent your own sport, like not a sport that's already invented, what sport would that be and what rules would you have?
Ooh, what sport would I invent? Oh my goodness, I'm not sure. That's a great question. Boy, that's tough to think about. Maybe something with, I don't know, something kind of do with throwing and kicking while moving. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay.
I have to really think about that.
I don't really know what sport I would invent.
Right? It's not easy. You got to think about it. All these sports have already been invented. Now you got to come up with something new.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. How do students with disabilities inspire you as a PE teacher?
I said it's something I don't have visual impairment, even though I wear glasses, but I can see without my glasses on. But like just the adversity you guys have to go through, some of you guys came from public schools or came from really rough backgrounds because of your disability, and you come here and you're willing to learn and break through those barriers. That always inspires me that you guys are tough. Some people wouldn't. They're like, "Oh, are they blind?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're blind, but they're playing soccer." Yeah, they're playing soccer. You guys push through, which is really awesome. You might not think it, you might not see it necessarily in yourself, but you are. You guys are pushing through those barriers, which is awesome. Always inspires me.
Okay, so you have the same answer for a coach too?
Yeah, probably same thing. You guys just push through it. All that adversity you guys got to go through, even though you guys don't think you are going through adversity. You are. It's tough to be blind, visually impaired in this world, and then do a sport on top of it. Not easy.
How do you deal with criticism?
Criticism. Yeah.
With being a coach for like disabled people.
So, I even get it sometimes from people I know in my own life. They always give me the blind jokes. And it's okay. It's educating people. Criticism. I'm always analyzing myself. Sometimes not, too hard. And Mrs. Taylor, my wife, always has to kind of get me off the ledge a little bit. Like, no, you're fine. You're doing great. Don't worry about it. But I'm always trying to look at myself and like, what can I do better? What could I have done better? This practice, what went wrong? What could I have done better? What went well? So just try to keep
Okay.
finding out what you can build on, when you get criticized.
Yeah. I don't like criticism.
But it's okay. It's a part of life. You're going to get criticized, believe me.
That's really usually how it is. How could the school and community better support students with disabilities in PE
In sports.
and
Sports and PD. So, I mean, just looking beyond the disability coming out, I work with a lot of places locally. We have a place called Time Out for Sports. I go get a lot of our sports not equipment, sports uniforms from them. They're very good to us. Just telling the community to come out and see what you guys are doing, because seeing is believing. You can say you coach blind soccer and they're like, "Oh, how's that work?" I'm like, "Well, why don't you come out and look? Come out and watch, see what these kids are doing, because they are doing a lot of good things that people don't realize you're doing."
What advice would you share to kids that might be scared to join sports because they have a disability?
It's okay to be scared. That's what I tell you. It's all right to be scared. Even I get nervous. Sunday night, I get nervous coming, ready to go for school on Monday. But that's a good thing. It's all right to be a little nervous, but come out and try. I know all the coaches here, Miss Lakeisha, Mr. James, athletic directors, everyone here will tell you, come out and try. And if you don't like it or it's not for you, that's fine. You tried, and that's all we want you to do. And then hopefully you find something you do try that you do like, and then you stick with it.
I like all the sports.
yeah.
But there's soccer is going on now. I'm still waiting for players to come out. I'm still,
I'm one of them.
But yeah, so if you're interested and you're 12 or 13 years of age and you want to come try a sport, try it out. And I said, if you don't like it, that's fine. You tried, and that's what we want you to do. And hopefully, you find something you do like.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, I appreciate you all letting me come on, and said you guys told me I was a first staff member, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
I'm honored. Crazy Mr. Taylor's the first staff member. But yeah, I wish you guys well, and I think you guys do a great job. Keep up the good work, and hopefully a lot of people get to hear this.
Okay. That's it for today's episode. Remember, here at Be For Real, we keep it real, raw, and sweet like honey. Until next time.